All right, Black Box Radio, the RONAreport. We have Skye Marlowe today. Say hi to the people.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
So, first off, we want to, we always talk about exactly like if this was a regular April day in Baltimore, what would you be doing adverse to what you're actually doing?
Okay, so if this is a regular April day, I am a bartender at one of the best whiskey bars in DC, and I'd be at work right now with my friends, kind of like my family. I miss them so much. We're on a group chat, and they were sharing pictures today and videos, and it got a little teary-eyed. So I'd be there. That's exactly what I'd be doing.
That's beautiful. So you bartend, so you definitely have an intimate job, and I know you have a lot of relationships. Bartend is a therapist.
Yeah, a little bit. We don't have the student loan debts, but yeah, we're therapists.
So you guys have a group chat? Wow.
We have a group chat. I can honestly say I've worked in the hospitality business for a very long time. This is probably the first bar and a restaurant that I've worked at where people like hug each other, tell each other that we love each other. It's just like we're like a family, like close knit.
You really like each other. You work with people you really like. That's a beautiful thing.
That's hard to find, and I really do. I really work with people that I really enjoy, respect. I'm one of the older members of the team, and I work with a bunch of millennials, and I have mad respect for them. They're teaching me things, and I just miss them. I miss them a lot. And I think that's what a lot of people are going through right now. Like we spend a lot of time with our work family, and now we're spending a lot of time with our family. So getting to know them.
Yeah. But usually when something like this happens, we're pushed towards our family, but then you also miss your other family,
Exactly.
So, y'all were shut down like the second week, the third week. So how long have you been quarantined?
So we found out, I guess it was March 16th. I think 16th. That we were not, March 16th, we were not going to open up, I believe, again, or we were going to open up on a limited basis. I'd have to go back and look at some text messages, but we were told the whiskey bar would shut down. Our rooftop would remain open for a limited amount of people. I work all three levels, I do multiple jobs there. So I was sort of excited that I was maybe an essential employee, but we actually, the latest news is that we have released that we are no longer even doing takeout, at least not at our location.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're not even doing that, which means our back of the house staff isn't even employed, or any of our prep cooks or whatever. We have some, numerous locations, and they were some of the ones that have been around a little longer are probably still open doing takeout. They did like a really great response, like most restaurants in our area, Baltimore and DC, like trying to, start tip jar pages, start GoFundMe's, just to try to help out a little bit. Because generally, we're not considered eligible for unemployment, and thank goodness that they finally did. We are this time, and that's a good thing. And our location was trying to feed people. I'm not willing to take public transportation to go to DC because I do live in Baltimore. So just so everyone knows, I am a Baltimore girl. I do live there. I just work in DC. DC's great, but I live in Baltimore, and I have worked in Baltimore in the past. And but they're trying really hard. It's just, I think it's just, employers are even small and mid-size, and even some large employers are just they've never been hit with something like this. They don't even know what to do.
That's true.
Yeah, and then go ahead. Sorry.
The confusion is for everybody. It's not, it's the corporation is confused. Everybody is off kilter. So
100%. I mean, I work another job, which I said we're just going to touch on it a little bit. So I am a fetish model. I was a glamour model. Before the quarantine, I was a bikini model. We'll talk about that later. And a professional dominatrix. And, and that was a very, very part-time side thing for me. But most of mine was in life, real person connections, communications, and that's completely gone. And a good portion of my friends, that's what they do. They're professional dominatrix or professional fetish models or, Playboy models. And so none of that's going on right now. And so that's also it sounds crazy. That's a hard hit industry as well. And having to move all of your industry from in real time to online has also been so I just feel like I'm out of work twice. To be fair.
You had the double punch.
There's some people who have a head start on the online part. There are people who were already building a following online and they already had a portion of what they was doing online. So I think the transition is a little bit easier for those people. But if you were someone who did everything in person to try to then build up, it's a tough time to do it because it's a busy time. People are home. People are on a computer.
Yeah, for sure.
But there are a lot of people who've already kind of dug that well ahead of time.
Yeah, I had I'd had an online presence even before this, and it's funny because one of the things I really was focusing on because I only work part-time bartending. I got to a certain point in my life. I said I just want to find a good job that I can work part-time, bartending, love where I work, make enough money to survive, and have a decent life, nothing crazy. And but I kept saying, and I did it, and I kept saying, I just want to spend a little more effort and time on my online business. This was not what I had in mind.
So be careful what you ask for.
I apparently need to be a little more specific on what I asked
for. So you're the one who made this happen.
Yeah, it was all my fault.
Oh, your fault.
It's all my fault.
So you said you got the double punch. You got the right, then the left hook.
Yeah.
When it comes to your professional movement, how's your mind space in this moment? How are you feeling personally about what's going on? How are you feeling?
I feel there's a range of emotions, and I think I can say that we're probably all going through this. So in various degrees, the range of emotions is I'm scared. I'm scared like a lot of us. I haven't received unemployment yet. Thankfully, bartending is my main number one thing. And, I am eligible and whatnot, and I haven't received it, and I'm worried I couldn't pay my rent because financial planning is not my strong point. And I'm not alone. A lot of us.
Trust me.
We're not
have
alone.
A million brothers and sisters.
Right. I mean, a lot of us live paycheck to paycheck. I could have probably did a little better saving. I'm not going to lie. I'm scared. I can't sleep at night, and I'm worried. I have a daughter-in-law who's an ICU nurse, and she's married to my son, who's in our National Guard, and they're on the front lines, and they're 25, 26 years old, and and I'm scared. I'm scared for them. I'm scared for her sister. I barely know her sister. Her sister's a nurse as well. They all three live together. I have a son that's in the military. I have two little small grandchildren, one that was just born. And they live with his grandparents. His grandmother's a nurse. I worry, she's doing everything possible not to bring it home. She's trying to isolate herself. She's in the same house, and she can't even it's just,
baby.
She can't touch the baby. I got to see the baby once, and it's just, we're all going through this, and I feel bad for people that got young children. I'm thank God this wasn't in the 90s, because first of all, if I had to homeschool all 5 of my children. Yeah, I don't even need to explain the rest of that. And
these parents, I'm telling you, you better love these teachers.
You better love these teachers.
You better give them a tip.
But, I'm on TikTok, and I've seen some really cute videos of parents actually getting to know their children and playing with them.
Yeah.
So my hope in the long run is that they're going to be, tighter family units. There's a lot of kids out there, though, especially Baltimore City. We're not economically, we're not there's a divide. No, we're not equipped. And there's a lot of kids that don't have laptops. They got multiple kids.
You better speak about it.
Laptop.
You better speak on it.
I need to speak on it because, even though I'm not going through that, I know it's happening. I know it's a problem. I don't even like, there's people, I don't have a washer and dryer at my place. The last thing I want to do is go out and do laundry at a laundromat. Like there's people that I don't have Wi-Fi. There's people that don't have Wi-Fi. They have kids. It's a struggle. And what I say, I thank God that my kids are all grown up is like, I'm still haven't, I can feed myself.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to feed kids on 3 days of a paycheck, which was my last paycheck, and I did, I couldn't do it. Like, what are people doing? People got babies with diapers and
yes, that's what I'm saying.
I'm like thanking God that I don't have little kids during this, and I feel guilty. That's another thought that a lot of us are dealing with. I feel guilty that I'm not using my time better, that I'm not making more money online, that I'm not learning a third language, and I also feel guilty because I'm not going to lie, I miss getting pedicures, and that seems like 100% first world problems, and it is. It totally is. But that's
your first world problem.
It's my personal problem. It doesn't matter. I'll live. But there's problems, and I feel guilty about it. I feel guilty that I feel bad that I can't do that. But there's people out there struggling. There's people obviously out there that have lost loved ones. I mean, this is like something that is affecting us all in different ways, and also at the same time, kind of the same way.
Yeah.
And one thing it's interesting to me is what I want to see. Does this bring us closer together as a nation or not? Because in my little world, I feel like it's going to pull us apart a little more. But I also feel like in my other, and maybe my work world, both my work worlds, it's going to bring us together closer. I don't know. I just don't know.
Well, it depends it's all on the people. I mean, in your humility, because Mother Earth is screaming.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And I don't think we want to continue to make she mad.
Yes, ma'am.
She could take you down.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
We have to either box up and get it together, or we will destroy ourselves. Yeah, that's just really what it is. I mean, I don't even think we're at a point. But the thing about us is when this ends and we go right back to where we were, we forget. Yeah, we have such short memories. But I don't know if we'll ever stop talking about this. I don't know. We might forget. But as long if you live through this, it's a talking point.
Oh, it's totally a talking point. This is
it is a talking point.
It's more than a talking point. This is going to change your life. So
exactly. This is going to change all of our lives. You're right.
Yeah, my parents are both deceased, and my dad was born in 1921, and my father lived through the Depression. My mother was born in the Depression, so I grew up with parents that had lived through that, and the way they were was so different from my friends' parents, who maybe was baby boomers. My parents weren't baby boomers; they were the generation before.
Mm-hmm.
And my kids, I guess my kids are like millennials. I'm a Gen Xer, or like the confused generation, but like that whole experience, the Depression,
it was traumatizing to
and
them.
World War II completely changed the way that people think across the globe, as will this. My hope is that some cultures are more communal in their thoughts, where typically Western cultures, and this is any sociology 101, so I'm not an expert, but you can go look it up. But we're more individual, and I'm hoping that it takes us away from the individual and more towards the communal, because that's exactly what we need to be doing right now. I mean, we can't go around each other, but we need to be conscientious about trying to not go out when we don't need to go out. Stay home. Is it going to end the virus? No. Is it going to help flatten the curve? And one article that I read that was amazingly interesting and very informative was that they called staying at home speed bumps. It's slowing it down. And that's what we need to do. We need to think above ourselves. Can we do it as Americans? Can we do it as Baltimoreans, which I hate that term?
Can we do it as a world?
As a world, can we do it?
Trust me, we all are at our knees. That's why it's so crazy, because the world stops. That hardly ever happens.
The world does stop. And, when you see like pictures from like New York City, which I love, I was supposed to go to New York City.
Manhattan.
I was supposed to go to New York City the 24th and the 25th to do a photo shoot. obviously I was like, oh no, I'm not going. And that was before anything happened, really, like before it got really bad. I mean, you look at that, like, when have we ever seen it that still?
Never in my lifetime. Never.
Never.
It could snow. I mean, they had the sand in New York. They was in school 2 days.
Right. I mean, I saw a report that said the Earth's vibration. I mean, I don't remember where I saw this. It was, you get those news reports on your phone based on what you watch and look at, and it said the Earth's vibrations were down because our movement's down. And I'm like,
yeah, the ozone layer is regenerating itself. The Himalaya mountains in China, the first time they ever seen it.
So you must be on Google too. Yeah, I've seen
the So I'm looking at this. I mean, because science is real.
Yeah, so science is real. And, that's what we need to look at. I know there's a lot of fear mongering in the press right now. So the one thing, if I could say anything to the listeners, is please do a little research. Don't look at the headlines, because that's what draws you in. Read the articles and then cross-reference it, because I'm not saying they're doing this on purpose. I'm just saying they're getting caught up. And I had a friend send me something, and it was like, don't do this. It was relevant to the area because some man was found, tested positive or whatever. And then come to find out, like, he had come off a cruise ship. And I'm like, he was already positive. Like, it has nothing to do with me. But the headline made it seem like, it had to do with everyone. And just be careful what you're reading. Like, cross-reference it. Make sure that it's factual. Make sure it's a reputable newspaper, online source, because, selling newspapers online is a thing. And just be careful. Don't. And also, the one thing I do want to say is, we were talking about this on Twitter. A lot of the professional dominatrix, surprisingly enough, we were talking about this, is limit the amount of news that you let yourself watch. Because for some people, it's very damaging. I know for myself personally, I can't sleep. I sit up and I worry at night.
Stop watching that stuff, Sister Skye. You gotta stop.
You guys, I'm not saying stop it altogether. I'm saying, like, limit how much you watch. Stay abreast of what's going on. But you know
what's going on, though. I tell folks is how many breaths you need.
Right.
a breath. We know what's going on. You have to self-isolate.
Yeah.
Watch your surroundings. Stay inside.
Yeah.
Only venture out for essentials.
Exactly. And essentials.
The numbers are here. We know this is. It's no more they can tell you, because really the messaging is so confusing.
Yes, I agree.
We really don't know what we're doing. Everyone's forging their own path because we don't have a systematic response from the federal government.
Well, we don't, because they're allowing the governors to take control of their own state, which sometimes seems like a really good idea, unless your governor is, I don't know, not the greatest.
I never think that's a good idea when you have this type of, when you have a killer that's killing a population.
Yeah,
individuals can't keep making different various decisions. It has to be a concerted effort. It's just like a team. You have to all fight to win.
Exactly. I agree with that.
Not all of the team. Okay, so this one's doing an audible and that one's running a trick play. Everyone's going to be confused. You get what I'm saying?
I completely
we have a killer amongst us. It needs to be a concerted effort. And when people say, well, that makes sense, it makes no sense. You can never quell anything.
No, I agree with you 100% on that, because you have some governors, like our governor, who's like
proactive,
very proactive. Probably the most proactive governor in the United States.
Como, New York.
Okay, maybe.
Hoagie Ho, he's doing all right, but Hoagie Ho ain't doing all of that.
Okay, well, I'm keeping it.
He's doing a good job.
But then you have, like, Florida's governor, DeSantis, and I'm like, get it together.
Bring up the worst?
I'm sorry, you had to go there.
Worse.
I know, but it's just.
And the guy in Georgia, I can keep going. Mississippi, what is wrong with these guys?
I know.
You want me to keep going? They really need some truth serums. But you know what? And the truth serum is what you think is not real comes right to your door. Just be careful what you prescribe for others.
Right. Well,
you'll be eating all of the pills.
There's a saying that says, your perception is your reality. And unfortunately, if you're an elected official, you can't go by your perception. And most people cannot go beyond their own perception.
Well, we set this thing up like that. That's how them set them up.
Yeah.
We have to reset it up then, because the system works that way. You give the elected official the power to make decisions from his perception. It's not set up with checks and balances.
No, it's not.
It's set up for that. So, people say, well, okay, well, why is it happening like this? Because it was set up like this. Now what's happening is the virus exasperates the setup. Everybody can see the sham now.
I think that when you are electing someone, you have to look at someone who can maybe see more than one perspective. Of course, they're always going to be their perspective, but there are people like you said, Cuomo, Hoagie Ho, they can. I know, that's cute. I love that name.
That's him. He looked like a Hoagie Ho.
He did.
But he's doing a boss job, but he's still Hoagie Ho to me.
Yeah, but he's at least trying to go holy, he's doing the holy crap. I got to do what's best for my state. He's crossing party lines. Which is the one.
He better. He's compromised. He better cross every line, because if Ronald knock on that mayor door, that governor mansion,
right?
He's immunocompromised.
He's a cancer survivor.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
so it behooves him to be proactive. And I'm not saying that's why he's doing it. What I'm saying is he understands his own situation.
Yeah. And I think that's a good thing, though. I think that's one of the reasons why he's so aggressive on what our self-isolation is, because he is one of the people that's in that group.
Bram.
Yeah.
You said it. Because usually you don't understand something until you're a part of it. That's why it's a problem that the most coddled, the most narcissistic, the most the most selfish people are the people who have the most power. There need to be people who come from nothing. They're the rich can never legislate for the poor.
Never.
They will never be able to, because they've never ever suffered.
Listen, until you've ever taken public transportation in Baltimore and had to walk to work, I'm going to say this is not going to be a popular opinion. I'm not trying to be all radical on y'all, but I'm sorry.
That's a disclaimer, y'all.
That's a disclaimer, because these are wonderful people. The views of the guests. Anyway, you don't get to be mayor. You don't get to be governor. You need to have a little struggle in your life. Before you get to run a city of people who are working class and struggling. Because we live paycheck to paycheck. We don't all have cars. We don't all have washer and dryers. We don't all have ways to get to the store. And, I feel like we need someone that comes from the neighborhood, at least has been there for 15, 20 years, that can actually say, hey, listen, this is what's going on. This is the people. This is what we need to do. And, we have to keep them safe. What are we doing? How are we making this happen? And with what's going on, we're in uncharted territories. I don't think there's anyone really alive that's ever lived through a depression or a plague. Think about it.
But we lived through Trumpy. So we do. That's all I got to say. So plagues, we've been living through Trumpy. So you lived through him. You're doing pretty damn good. You're really close to the virus.
Yeah, you're doing good.
COVID 26. No, what's his president number?
45. Sorry, I'm not kidding.
That's him. COVID 54.
45.
Because he's backwards. That's his name, COVID 54.
Oh my God.
Anyway, let me not disrespect your president. I'm sorry, Sister Skye. Pardon me.
No, you don't. Listen, just not the office. The person in charge, that's one thing. The office is another. That's what they say. I don't know.
Okay. So we're at the part of the interview where we have a last will and testament. You said some jewels throughout this interview, but definitely we leave something inspirational for the people. It could be a talent, could be, you might be the greatest rapper on earth. So, we want you to leave something for the folks that, that's inspiring, like a jewel, your jewel.
All right. So here's what I'm going to say. Don't watch all the news. Give yourself a limited amount of time to catch up and then go do something that makes you happy. Go take deep breaths. Like, this is going to overwhelm us if we let it, and if we let the fear mongering. Just reach out, learn how to use social media, reach out to other people. I know there's a lot of our older citizens that are struggling with this. Call up your family, have them walk you through, this is what we got to do to reach out. Just remember, we're all in the same boat, and this virus doesn't care. There are some of us that are getting targeted more based on the way that we are in our life, what we have and don't have, but it doesn't really care. And the bottom line is this is going to change us, and I hope it changes us so that we're closer together and not far apart, because we live on one planet, my friends, and we are one species. And that's what we need to remember. Everything that's been wrong, right, and all that in the past, we need to go forward from now, and we need to take it, and we need to be humans. And especially for Baltimore, we need to be the people of the city of Baltimore, because it's hard being people from the city of Baltimore, but we need to do that. And just know that I love you. I hope you're doing well. And, it's affecting us all different ways, and that's okay. That's okay. If you're sleeping till 3, it's okay. If you're worried or you can't sleep, it's okay. We're in uncharted territories, my loves. And just know that.
Wow. I approve of that message.
Thank you, ma'am.
Excellent, Skye. We really appreciate you. You brought a different, excellent perspective.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Skye. We're really happy to have you here with us, and very grateful that you took the time to share your perspective and experience as we go through this together.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you all inviting me out. It was a big honor for me. And, hopefully once we get past this and we get this under control, maybe we'll come back and do some more saucier episodes. But hey.
All day.
All right, listeners, if you enjoyed this conversation and you would like to hear more of the Rona Report, you can visit blackboxradio.com. That's BlackBoxRadio.com. You can also find Black Box Radio on Instagram and Facebook at Black Box Radio, or on Twitter at BoxBlack. That's BoxXBLAK.
All right. This is the Rona Report. We had Skye Marlowe, and we so appreciate you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So this is Black Box Radio. It is 4/10/20. The Rona Report. We are out. Peace.